in the USA, but we in there though. We Canadians, we Canuck though. We in Quebec, where they speak French, like a duck duck. Quack, 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 quack. Okay, bro, y'all. Hey, picky eater gang, picky eater gang, picky eater gang, 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 gang. What's up, picky eater gang, 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 gang? If you ain't with the gang, you're lame. You're a lame-o. You're a bozo. Don't you know, no?
What's up? Well, we already said what's up and everything, guys. We had to move outside because everybody was waking up and there was just too much noise inside. So we moved our party outside.
So for today's video, Queen T here has been dying, literally dying, like.
Okay, not literally dying.
On suicide
Didn't
watch.
you learn anything about speaking about words and spells and you know what I'm saying? So no, I wasn't dying.
She was literally upset.
I was very excited, low-key obsessed with Insecure. So I made her watch like the entire 4 seasons. I mean, not 4 seasons.
I watched I've watched Insecure before, but it's never was a show for me where it's like I'm obsessed or low-key obsessed that she likes to say. But yeah, so she asked me to watch the season. I watched all 9 episodes. So we are going to give you guys a review on all 9 episodes.
So we haven't done like every episode this season. This is our first time ever doing this. So I've been watching hundreds literally of how do you say? I've been watching hundreds of reviews every episode of Insecure. Benji, don't touch. Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? Comment down below if you know where that's from. Do you know where that's from? No. Wakanda forever.
Okay. So yeah, guys, let's jump right into it.
Okay, so what did you think so far up to leading up to season 8? Are you team Issa? Are you team Issa or are you team Molly?
So to be real, I don't know who I'm team. I'm team Shalina, but
you know what I'm talking about, fool.
I really don't know because I have mixed feelings. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're outsiders looking in. So I'm always gonna be the type of person that tries to put myself in everybody's shoes.
It's a show.
So
there's only outsiders looking in because
yeah, but that's
it's
what
a
I'm
saying. Like, what are you saying?
My perception of them is coming from me being understanding.
This is what we want, her perception. So can you just give us your perception, please?
I don't know, this is the thing, because they were friends for so long, like I feel throughout the show, like you could tell that like they're lacking miscommunication, so they're both trying each other. So there's things that Issa did that I'd be like, girl, you shouldn't have did that. And
like what did Issa do where you were like, girl, you shouldn't have done that? Because I'm team Issa all day.
The thing that jumps up to my head is Molly invited her to Thanksgiving and she chose to just hit her up like, hey, can we just talk about it another day? Like, and if you see, Molly's parents made a pie with the crust extra whatever just for Issa, and she doesn't even show up.
Okay, Issa did not know that.
No, for sure she didn't know that.
Right.
But I'm saying it's the miscommunication. Like.
But wait, you can't. You're giving Issa like a fault because it's like, oh, they made you this extra pie just the way you like it, and you didn't come. Issa didn't know they were gonna do that.
But she did tell her that she was gonna go.
She did tell her that she was gonna go. But I was actually proud of Issa for not going because so many times we put ourselves in situations to make the other person happy, but you really don't want to do it. So I was happy for Issa for standing up for herself because she didn't want that negative Molly energy. She had her block party. She needed to focus, and Molly had been downing her ever since she found out about Issa's situation with Condola and Lawrence. She's been like dogging Issa, so I understand why Issa didn't want to go. Like she needs to stay amped. You know when somebody kills your dream when you're around a dream killer, and it's like you really want to keep your motivation up. You can't be around them. You have to avoid them. So from that perspective, I did feel sad for Molly because it's like, you know, when you're waiting on somebody and they don't show up, I know how that feels.
Mhm.
But I was happy for Issa because.
For sure. But Molly's been doing the same thing too. Issa's been doing some of that stuff to Molly too, where Molly's telling her about stuff and she's telling her like, oh, this, and the third about herself. Like,
But
that's
I
not
don't.
making Molly feel good about herself.
I think Issa is only doing it as like to get Molly back because Molly started it.
Mhm.
And I think you could see how hurt Issa was after the mixer when she's just like, your life doesn't always have to be so messy, you know?
Mhm.
So then I think like that was a personal attack, especially since that same mixer, Issa showed up. You know what I mean? She really passed her comfort zone and she pulled off a successful event. She got all the supporters. And at the end of it, instead of Molly being like, you did your thing, girl, I'm so proud of you. She's just like, your life really doesn't have to be so messy, you know?
Yeah.
So I think ever since then, it was like tit for tat. So it's like, I'm not going to let Molly dog me. Because if you notice, oh yeah, so what I remember is like every time Issa said something negative or put Molly down. Yeah, I feel like every time Issa had like been negative towards Molly, I feel like it was like a response to Molly's negativity. Like Molly's comes out of nowhere. Issa's talking to Lawrence and it's just like, oh girl, you don't have to be so messy, like blah blah blah. And then it's just like, check your own life, Molly. I feel like that was more Issa's negativity towards Molly. It was always in retaliation.
For me, I just feel like I'm big on communication, so if you felt that way, she should have just said that.
Yeah, but has that's your personality. Molly and Issa know each other.
Mhm.
So has Issa been that way in season 1, 2, and 3? No. So why are you suddenly expecting it in season 4?
That's true. That's true.
And Molly is the person to be the talker to like put people in their place. So really, if your relationship has been that type of communication season 1, 2, and 3, why now season 4 are you holding your tongue, and why not just say stuff as it is? Because this is who you've been the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So I blame everything on Molly.
Because you're Team Issa.
I'm Team Issa, yeah. I think, but like they both, Self-Care Sunday, they both tried to be better. And I think that it's harder for Molly to be better than it is for Issa. Yeah. So Molly's like faking it till she makes it. Where I think Molly was decent. She doesn't really have to be better. Just stop being a hoe. I think really that was the part that she wanted to change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her relationship with Ben, where like Issa is naturally a joyful, happy person. So when somebody tries to diminish your joy, you gotta avoid them.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, Issa showed up after the block party. Molly thought she could get up in her face, and Issa was, try me, boo. Try me.
She said that?
No, she didn't, but that was her energy. Her energy was like, who gonna test me, boo? I thought that whole thing was whack. How did you feel about that?
How the block party ended?
Yeah, like Molly crying, like, to Andrew at the end. That was so, like, oh, come on, Molly.
I just thought it was the wrong place, wrong time for her to be being upset with Issa over the fact that she asked Nathan.
We are not going to be able to be heard. Here, give me my baby. What's the matter? Tell Auntie.
Yeah, so I truly feel like that whole thing at the end of the block party. Going into.
This crowd don't want to see that, boo-boo. Gumi. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was like wrong place, wrong time for Molly to be even addressing that whole Andrew situation, you know?
Would you have felt as wrong as Molly did?
No. Because I would have been like, yo, I respect it. Like, I didn't want to help you and you went and found another way to get help. So it's like, I can't be mad at that. Like, already as a friend, like something that you quit your job and you're trying to do as a career, like no matter like how upset she was or what kind of feelings that she was having, I totally think that it's messed up that she chose not to help her over her relationship when it's just a question. I don't think that question could have hurt their relationship.
But a lot of people, a lot of the reviews, a lot of the reviews, people were saying like it was more that Issa always fails and Molly didn't want to involve Andrew for a failure, like, and then Andrew looks bad and then he's mad at Molly. And,
but what does Issa always fail at?
I don't know. They're trying this season. They really try to make it seem that Issa is really a bum, which I've never felt that way. That
I've never felt like, Issa was a bum, because at the end of the day, she had a job in the first season.
Oh, which brings me to Molly's comment, like, "Oh, Issa ran from me like it was a job." I never got that from Issa. I think that, look, she has like 3 jobs. She is the building concierge, the janitor and whatever, project manager of the building. She's doing Lyft, and she's doing her block party. So one of them she's not even getting paid for. So to work and not be paid for your job should hold more than being a lawyer. Basically what I was saying is that I find there's more honor when you're doing something you're passionate about, even if you're not going to get paid, than working just for the money. Like, Molly switched firms. I understand why she switched firms. I don't disagree with her switching firms, but like at the end of the day, she went to a job that would give her equal pay, better pay, or whatever. Issa is working her passion. So maybe Molly's looking down on that. I don't know. I think she's passionate about being a lawyer because obviously she loves to argue and win her arguments.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, just because Issa's not breaking in the dough like she is doesn't mean she doesn't like to work.
Yeah. And I'm super proud of Issa because a lot of people stay in a job that they don't enjoy at all, you know, and they're completely miserable. So I give a round of applause for Issa just for quitting her job and knowing that it was time to let go. So, and a lot of people don't realize, like, when you do that, a lot of people around you question it, like, why would you do that, and da-da-da-da. If it's your time, it is your time. So it was her time.
Absolutely. And what was I gonna say about that? What were you just saying? Issa leaving. I don't remember what I was gonna say. But what I wonder. I don't know. I've never been in an interracial relationship. I've been in a intercultural relationship because my husband is from Africa and I'm born in Canada. So, you know, culturally it's different, but not like, you wouldn't know that we're from different places if you just see us together, right? But Andrew and Molly, clearly from different places, right? Mm-hmm. Although, are they from the same place? Is he born in Cali?
I have no idea.
Let's just assume that he is born in California. So they do share certain cultural similarities, but they're different, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, ethnicity-wise. But I wonder, do you think that the people take on the attitudes of the other race? Like, Molly seems to be losing her oomphness.
I don't think it's because of his culture at all. I think that's just because, like, she really likes this guy and she's realizing that a lot of her ways aren't getting her anywhere because she's been acting like for 4 seasons and she's been recycling men. So I think this time she actually is trying to be a better person.
I don't know if it equates to being a better person because clearly she's been horrible this entire season. So, but I just think like now she's like, okay, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but she's talking whiter. She's like, Andrew, darling, like, this doesn't serve me. Like, she's just trying to be somebody that she's not. It's not literally because she's black, but that's not her. Molly is ratchet. You could be a good person and be ratchet. Like
Yeah.
she's trying too hard to not be Molly, which I think is why it's ruining her and Issa, and I think ultimately is gonna ruin her and Andrew, because I think a lot of people make this mistake in relationships where the person starts to like you when you're the way you normally are, and then you get in a relationship and you try to be somebody else. They were attracted to you because of who you were, so just stay who you are. Even if they complain and they're like, oh my God, I can't stand when you do this. If they started liking you and you were doing that, don't change it. Because once you change, then they're gonna like pull back and be like, you're not the same. Where's Kenji? Oh God. Oh, he's right here.
Oh, okay. Royale is sitting down so nice, eating
her strawberry rhubarb crumble. The rhubarb is from her garden and the strawberries from the store.
She is enjoying it. She is. Yeah. So, I didn't take it in like that. I guess because of like, oh, it's a TV.
You know, but it just, when we were talking, it clicked to me like,
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking this the whole time I was watching it, but how do you feel about that moment in therapy when the therapist was like, was there anything you think you could have done differently with the block party? And she's like, no, she gotta apologize.
I just think for the block party, I think Molly was absolutely wrong. That's just that, because I know how it feels to like work so hard for something and then you're so proud of what you did, and then the one person that you're so close to. What happened? What happened?
She wants Kenji to come back. Kenji! That one person rains on your parade.
But it's not just like one person. I say it's like one person that means a lot to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if a stranger says certain things to you, you really don't care.
Yeah.
But if somebody that's close, because then it's like, is that what you really think of me?
Yeah. And
So
it's somebody that you hang out with, you talk to, you confide in, and it's like, that's how you feel? Really? Like,
it makes you feel like your relationship has been a fraud.
Or it just makes the relationship feel one-sided. So
Like, oh, you've been hating me all this time? Okay. And then you just cut them off and it's like,
whatever.
okay. Team Lawrence or Team Nathan?
I don't know. To be honest, I'm definitely Team Lawrence, just because like when they're together, I'm just like, ooh, black love, and like he's just so
Okay, let me finish your thought. Sorry.
Lawrence.
I just have a comment. Go ahead.
I that's how I just feel, and I feel like their chemistry is like awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I like seeing how big Issa smiles when she's with him, you know? And then the thing with whole Nathan, like, yeah, like, it was cool and whatever.
Jen, come here, Papa.
But with Nathan, I really don't like how he ghosted. And I know now that we're up to date, we found out that it's because he's bipolar and stuff like that. But
Do you know what bipolar means? Like, what are the attributes of a bipolar person?
like, I don't know. I guess like you switch.
Okay, that's what I always thought. Like, 1 second you're hot, and then you could flip, and then you're cold, and
yeah.
like.
A lot of Scorpios tend to be bipolar.
Would you want to be in a relationship with somebody who's bipolar, but you know they're bipolar? Would you want to be in a relationship with them?
I think that if it started out like how Issa and Nathan started out, and then he came, like, and then he ghosted her, but then came like probably like a day or two later and was like, "This is what I'm going through." I think I'm just the type of person that I'm a ride or die.
You'd be understanding.
Yeah,
and
I'm
like, all right,
super
babe, I got
understanding.
you.
Like, what do we got to do to make sure we keep this under control? Like how can I help you? Like, I'm that type of person. But the whole like waiting and then coming back and like acting like everything's Gucci, like, even though I would feel bad, I would feel like, I don't know, like, you took too long to tell me. And I know it's like a condition and a mental health thing, but at the same time, like, you're grown. Like, you should be able to communicate what you're going through.
Okay, she's clearly miscommunication. Many people have difficulty communicating, so that's overstood on my part. Okay, I'm team on the fence because originally I was Team Lawrence. Like, I wanted Lawrence to forgive her so bad after season 1, and season 2 I wanted them to get back together and work it out. But then when I saw sorry about that. Okay, so what I was saying is, then when I saw how Issa was with Nathan, and I felt like Nathan really liked her. Like, you know the when somebody looks in your eyes and it's like they're into you. I got that vibe from Nathan. So we didn't really see Lawrence and Issa that way.
So I feel like you didn't see it like that with them, because I feel like they picked off right where they left off.
I was getting to that point.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I went from Team Lawrence to Team Nathan, and I ultimately wanted Issa to end up with Lawrence. So it was really bittersweet for me episode 8 when they made up, because I'm just like, I watched the whole thing with a huge grin. It made me so happy, but I was also sad because it felt like they're not ultimately gonna be together. Like, this is not the show can't just be together, you know? So then after, it made me really sad. But then when I saw how Lawrence would look at Issa, and like he started the joke stuff, like the corny stuff, like that whole James Bond energy, or what was it? Okay, wait. I thought after the first time when I heard it, when I watched the episode the first time, I didn't get what was going on. But then when I watched it again and I paid attention, I understood the game, and I'm like, that's dope how they could think so quickly and know what to say next. And I noticed he started it. So like he likes it, right? It's not like Issa's corny thing that he deals with.
In the show, I think I love the way he looks at Issa. I love the chemistry that they have. I love just seeing like the time lapse of like them hanging out and like, you know, like smashing and
wait, okay.
chilling.
In episode 8, Issa was on top, right? So the smash, it was a decent smash scene, but I'm just like, why can't they don't show black people with no flavor? And then on the beginning of episode 9 where you see like Lawrence, I'm like,
Talking about sex scenes, what is with this whole bum stuff? Can you guys please?
Naughty, please. And how come in all the reviews nobody commented it like that's normal? Please, US of A, please tell me that's not what you guys are doing.
Can you guys please comment down below and let us know about that? Because I'm not intrigued, but I'm definitely curious on like how much of you guys really do that and why, and if you think it's clean, because
it's not clean.
It's not clean, because even when I talk to my friends about it, like they all try to justify
that they brush their teeth after.
No, they all try to justify like, oh well, we washed our bum before, and it's like, I don't care.
Did you see? I saw this stand-up comedian, and he's like, that's the one place that no matter how hard you scrub, after you take 2 steps, it's dirty again.
That's big fact.
But no, like, okay, let's even if you just fart, the gas is like pushing stuff. I don't know.
We had to relocate because my phone died, and then we had stuff to do in between. And yeah, now her kids are at the park, so we could be inside and you guys could see our beautiful faces. Yes, we are still in our robes, but whatevs. So
we did that just to keep consistent for the video.
Yeah. So
you were talking about
to jump right back in, we were talking about this bum stuff that I think is actually, put a comment down below. I want to know, like, do you guys refer to the bum as a bum, or do you say your butt? Because a lot of people don't say bum.
Who cares?
I want to know. Comment down below. I want to know if it's an American thing, a Canadian thing.
I think Americans say booty.
Your butt, yeah. I want to know.
But
anyways,
I don't know. I refer to it as all 3, so I don't know.
Your butt, booty, and bum. Anyways, drop a comment down below. So yeah, so I thought that was really awkward when the big TSA guy said,
want the booty button.
Yeah, touch my booty button. So I want to know, comment down below if you've watched that episode and if you think Issa was kind of like disgusted
that he asked her that, or do you think that whole or was she trying to find his bum? That's why she looked like that. The bumble.
Oh, speaking of TSA Bay, how come you're not team like TSA Bay? How come you don't want Issa to end up with this? Because he's fun too. Like I think Issa just has good chemistry with everybody.
But just because watching them, I could tell that like she's not like into him. It's like a friend thing.
Like she's not proud. Okay, how do you think? I was gonna both call him Derwin. How do you think Lawrence would have felt if it was Nate who rolled up on them, and like, cause like you see how he was laughing at her, clowning at her, and maybe made him feel a little big, like, you know, of course you want that old thing back. Look what you had, like made him feel good, like she couldn't do better than me. But had he seen Nathan, I think he would have been just, oh well, it's a car.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. I just think it was more so like hilarious because what he do.
He's such an endearing character because he's genuine, you know? He's not trying to fake the funk. He didn't, like, Issa's just like, and he's not even paying that no mind, like, we used to get it. Who does that?
The girl that he was with, do you think that was
Honda?
Yeah. Mercedes?
Mazda. I'm like, I don't remember it being a Mercedes. Side joke. Isn't this the funniest thing? Okay. There's this guy and the girl and they're having an argument and her name's Alexis. And it's like, the guy was like, Alexis, more like a Buick. You get it? I always thought that was the funniest thing. In case she doesn't get it, she's too young.
I know what a Buick is.
Buicks are nice now, but Buicks are not.
But yeah, I get it. Okay. But the Alexis, like I didn't think it was funny.
Because Alexis is her name, Alexis, but the car is nice car is Alexis, and he's like, Alexis, more like a Buick. Get it?
Okay.
Like who's gonna name their child a Buick? Okay, but she was a very pretty girl, so it was just a joke, but I thought it was funny. Okay, moving right along. So what was I saying? Yeah, so
yes,
that he would have been insecure. Was that my point?
Yeah.
Okay, that whole scene. Okay, one of my all-time most favorite movies. Do you know what it is?
No.
It's Love and Basketball.
Oh.
And you know that scene at the end when they're playing one-on-one? She's like, I'm going to play you for your heart. And he's just like, what if I win? And she's like, if you really love me, like, you're not going to win.
Uh-huh.
You know? So then there's a moment where it's like, she's beating him and she's talking smack. And then he's like, all right. He rolls his sleeves up and then he beats her. But then that last, it's like tie 1-1, let's just say. And that last one to win the game was a slam dunk. So it's kind of like, in your face, I don't want you. Mm-hmm. So when Lawrence was on the phone, and we clearly know it's condolences, and like she doesn't, I hear people call her all kind of things, but so she's on the phone with him, right? I mean, he's on the phone with messaging Condola, whatever. And when Issa wants to go to the art walk after their great date, and he's just like, tell me how that is, and walks out. That was that Love and Basketball moment for me, where it's like,
crushed me
your heart breaks.
That really crushed me.
And then Issa's standing
like she was so me. It couldn't be me because I would have been cussing. Like from when he like literally crossed the street, I'd have been like, "Are you serious? Like, are you dumb?"
Yeah, I would have been like Issa, like, what the heck is going on? You know, I would have taken it as, you don't want to be with me. That's would have been the moment, you know? But then when you're, it was like, he does love me. And then from that moment, like that was the worst part in that whole episode. And then when he did that, it was just over perfect. Like that made the episode almost perfect. And the end was really perfect. But that moment there was like, shot it up.
So let's move on. After the art walk or whatever, when they go back to Lawrence's and he invites her in just to see his place so she could see how like he upgraded and stuff like that.
Pause. Remember your thought. Do you think that she set it up for him to invite her, or do you think that was just how it happened?
I didn't get that at all. Like I think that she was just like, okay, like, you know, just cracking jokes, because
I agree.
I would have did the same thing, like, probably on an air mattress.
Yeah,
Like,
because
you know?
some people in the reviews that I watched were saying they totally think Issa
Set
set
that
that up for him to invite her.
I don't think
But-
so, because just Issa's personality, I feel like if she wanted to, she would have from time been like, yo, let me use your bathroom, or like something to get herself in there, you know? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think she would have beat it around the bush.
She looked shocked when he was just like, and he wasn't even talking to her. He was talking to her. He was like, wait here 5 minutes. She's gonna come up. She'll be back. I was like,
I was like,
yeah, and she's like, so that was nice.
yeah, but even she made a comment to, who was she talking to, where she made that comment about like she feels like Condola is reaping the benefits of who Nathan is now.
Yeah,
I mean
remember.
Lawrence, who I don't know who's.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember
But
I
you-
don't remember who she's talking to.
Do you agree on that? Do you feel like she's like? Do you feel like she has a right to feel? She was talking to her brother. Do you feel
Okay.
like she has a right to feel like somebody else is reaping all the benefits that she should be reaping? I guess.
Somewhat. I don't feel like she molded Lawrence into the person that he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think kind of the opposite, where she allowed him not to be the person that he is now.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel her where it's just like, I wasted 5 years with you,
Yeah.
and you were just on the couch being a bum, and now you're giving the best of yourself to this new chick.
Mhm.
Like, she didn't struggle with you.
Mm-hmm.
So from that aspect, yes, but it's not like she paid for him to go to school and she
Oh,
stayed
yeah,
home
yeah,
and
yeah.
watched the kids, and he became like very successful and whatever, and then left her.
Mhm.
It wasn't like that. So it's not like she watered the plant and
Mhm.
that's her fruit. I don't think so. It's just that it would have been nice
Mm-hmm.
to have Lawrence at his best.
Yeah. Especially holding him down at his worst.
But I think at the same time, like, that other girl didn't get Lawrence's best. The one that he was with right after Issa. I think Condola, the bank girl.
But he wasn't even where he was still figuring himself out at that point.
But okay, even the girl that he worked with, the Indian girl, still. But this is my point is like, he was like that with Condola because I think Condola demands that. Like, that's what Molly's trying to be. That's probably why she's always hating on Condola, because
Oh, Molly, I thought you meant Issa. I'm like, Issa's
no, Issa's a sweetie. I think like Condola, you know, just some people have this where it's like, you know, if you step to them, you better step correct.
Mm-hmm.
I think Condola
That's me.
has that aura about her.
Yeah, that's me.
So I think like just like Lawrence trying to show up with this fancy top or whatever, and Issa like trying to be proper, and Molly was just hating. But like, you know, I think everybody she commands
the higher
a
up.
higher. Yeah, I think
As me.
she's you're ratchet. I don't think,
As
but
me. I walk in a room and everybody's like, "Who's that girl?"
that's not what they're saying. They're saying, "What is she?" Because her hair is really nice.
I hate that. I hate when I walk in a room, people are like, "Oh, you're Dominican?" Like, no, bitch. Getting back on track. How do you guys feel about after Issa was in there, she has to use the bathroom, and Lauren steps outside to make that phone call to...
Yeah, a
Condola.
lot of people are saying like, "Oh, Condola called him 3 times." I'm like, Condola wasn't really sweating him. She texted him once,
Mm-hmm.
and he said he's
would let
wrapping
her
up
know.
someone, he'll let her know. And then she called him, and it's getting later, so she wasn't really sweating him. And I think it's his fault why she kept engaging, because he didn't say no, Tuesday's best. He kept opening the door like, well, maybe. So I would have called the person and been like, are you coming through or what? Like, do I need to take my shower or not? Just joking. Cut that out.
You keeping that.
But you know, and then the third time he actually called her,
Yeah.
and he still kept that door open.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that whole thing between him and her was a booty call. Like, people were like, oh, she's pregnant, but she doesn't want to get married. Why would she want to be a baby mama?
Yeah.
Like, that theory didn't make sense to me. And I was like, if Insecure, Durin, and Melanie's me, it's over. I'm not going to be an Insecure fan.
What's Doran and Melanie?
From the game, when Melanie and Derwin were that cute little black love, quirky, awkward kind of couple. He didn't give it a white girl. I don't know if he did, but that was not the case. The case is that I think she cheated on him and they broke up. But then he was with the other girl and had a baby before they got back together.
Oh, so you're saying, like, if Lawrence has a baby with Condola, you're done?
I'm done, because I can't take that. I couldn't take it. It ruined the game for me. It absolutely ruined it. Like, I stayed tuned.
The game that was the show back in the day.
Eh? Sure was. That's where we first met Lawrence. Lawrence was at Lauren London.
Really? Wow.
And she low-key cheated on him, too. Remember, she was doing the movie scene, and Lawrence just stays getting cheated.
Comment down below. I want to know how you guys feel about that scene, because me personally, I think that was totally uncalled for him to make that call while Issa was still there too.
I didn't think it was messy at all because he was up front. It wasn't like he was trying to hide it. Like, I think he stepped out because he didn't want Issa to hear how he talks to
Absolutely, but that's my
her,
point. You shouldn't have talked to her. You shouldn't have called her while you're still with Issa.
Yeah, I think so, because it's not like him and Issa were dating. He was talking to Issa to reconnect.
Yeah.
No. Well, I think the intention of the date was just to get some unanswered questions. It ended up being more than that, but at the time, so I don't think in his mind it was like they really have something. Because even when she's like, I want to stay, he's like, should we be doing this? Like, I think that caught him completely off guard, that's where Issa's mind was at.
But I don't understand why that would catch him off guard, because he's seen, like, since season 1, Issa wanted to be with him.
The way that I felt about that whole thing is, like, he was still really hurt because all of his interactions were very mean. Whenever he would see Issa, it was, like, mean. Even, like, when he rolled up on her, he just, like, yeah, don't talk about me to Condola. Like, he was pretty cold with her.
I think so.
Yeah, he wasn't, like, you didn't see love in his eyes or anything. I felt like he wanted to keep stuff straight and to the point, like, you know, whereas Issa, you could feel from Issa where it's just like, there's love there, but she knows she hurt him and she's hurt by that whole, you could feel that from Issa. Even, like, when she called him and she was, like, trying to continue the conversation. She's like, we don't have to do that. And he just, like, hung up with her. But,
I just thought that scene right there, like, they're moving into a good space.
I think, okay, the when I noticed that he actually cares for her is when, Condola's like, I'm working with your ex. And she's just like, what do I do? And he's like, you're still gonna work with her? And she's like, should I? At that moment, he didn't say, no, that would be too weird, don't work with her. He was thinking of Issa, and he's like, well, I guess she needs you. So keep working with her. Whereas notice her best friend, Molly, when Issa really needed her, it wasn't like, well, my boyfriend can help you. No, because Molly's mad at you, that's it. You gotta suffer. But did you notice the mixer? Molly was just like, oh, Andrew's gonna come and he works for Live Nation. So, like, basically handing Andrew to her on a silver platter. But then when she's mad at him, it's just like,
let me take that away.
Yeah, you can't use Andrew, no. Like, yeah. But yeah. I thought that was the first time that I noticed, like, oh, Lawrence really still cares about her. But then I think what made him break that wall that he had up was when Condola challenged him, and Condola was like,
what would have happened
if you stayed together? And I think that messed with his mind, and he really started thinking of it. And then I think he started remembering those, like, what made him like her
and all that.
And then that's why I find, like, in the cafeteria or wherever they went to eat, I think he had been thinking ever since. No, did they break up? That was the last time we saw them together. So my theory doesn't make sense there. But I don't know. I guess because Condola is with Lawrence and Condola keeps bringing up Issa, I think let's say I think that
Condola's
is
putting it in his mind
that Issa's cool, and he's remembering cool stuff about Issa. But then I find that still that same dinner time, like, Condola's there. She didn't even invite him. Her friends are dissing him. And, like, when he's with Issa, they all have the same friends. Is cool. Issa and him get each other. So I think for sure that added on to him thinking about Issa and blah, blah, blah. Because Then you notice he's softer when he sees her. He's quiet. He calls her and he's just like, oh, can we talk? Like before he was like stern and hard.
Yeah,
he started softening up. But I still didn't feel like he felt like they could be together. I still didn't feel that.
Well, I hope in season 5 they just come through and just have babies, her and Lawrence.
Me too. I was kind of hoping, they don't have to break up. They could flip the show to show us how like these two
Could
navigate
work it out,
life together. It doesn't have to be messy all the time.
No, I think I would love that. I mean, I think Nathan is super, he's good looking and all that. And
I like his swag. I like how he's understanding and motivating. And
absolutely.
And he clearly accepts Issa
for
as
who
she is.
Yeah. So I definitely love that aspect of him.
And Kendrick, aka Nathan, is on the front lines right now, getting beat up, holes in his chest and his legs.
Bullets getting No, but I like, okay, this is the thing. I like Nathan, but I think because Issa and Lawrence have that old chemistry and all of that, like, it just makes me feel like homier, Like, I just feel like, like, it's just like, But with Nathan, it's something new, so it's something that they're gonna have to build on, and, like, they're still growing and learning each other. Like, come on, like, she didn't even know the man was bipolar. Like,
she doesn't know that Lawrence is bipolar either. All men are bipolar, so. No, but I feel what you're saying. I always think that's really beautiful when people are like high school sweethearts or have a lot of years together.
Like, if you guys stuck it through for 5 years,
15, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how many of those years were good? We don't know.
We just know that it was one full bad year. Because she said it, right? She said that it was a full year of like her not wanting to like come home. And honestly, when she was saying that about Lawrence, it reminded me so much about because I'm like, that is so true. Like, it was a full, like, when your man lacks ambition and is going through something, it's gonna put a constraint on you guys' relationship a la max, because you feed off of their energy, So I was in a situation like that where I didn't even want to go home either, because I'm having a good day and I'll be at work with her cracking jokes and we had such a great day at work, and then I know as soon as I put my key in the door, I'm going home to sulk face. Yeah, so for me with the whole cheating thing, I mean, like, I think he should have been more understanding. Well, obviously not in the moment because he doesn't even know what he's doing to her. But I think, like, I'm not justifying cheating, but I could probably be more understanding to know that, like, hey, like, I'm not making you feel wanted or appreciated or anything. So you went out there seeking something else, and maybe Daniel's the one that gave that to her. But it'd be a different story, and I would not rate Issa if she had a happy home and she left her happy home to go do that with Daniel. I think that's a thing.
What? I mean, you missed me with that last part. You wouldn't. Oh, you mean you wouldn't rate her means that you would think she was wrong if she left her happy home. Okay,
yeah.
Okay,
I'm saying like she would be absolutely wrong if her and Lawrence were like,
yeah.
Like. If you're good at home with your partner, it's all kiki, haha, boom, boom, and you step outside of that to go do something, I think you're absolutely foul. Because if you did that and you're like having problems at home with your relationship, it's one thing to be like, I'm having a hard time communicating with you that this is how I feel and this is what I'm going through. That's a little bit more understanding than to come and be like, oh, well, we were good, so I don't get it. Like,
I feel you. I think that Lawrence should have acted exactly how he acted.
No, for sure. I'm not knocking him. I don't think he shouldn't have got upset. You have all rights to be upset.
No, you're just saying from an understanding perspective.
Yeah, like, I just feel like he could have been way more understanding to know that, like, I mean, I don't rate cheating at all, but just coming from an understanding point, like, imagine Issa, like, for a whole year, that's 365 days of you loving somebody and they don't even show that back. Like, come on, people get upset if they're in a relationship and their man says love you instead of I love you. So imagine how she feels where she can't even get love you, she can't even go to sleep with the sheet on the side to hint like, hey, I want something, and don't get nothing. Like, you know, like
The sheet on the side. Okay. Can you go?
Can I go to bed with the sheet at night?
I don't want to know what you're doing with the sheet on the side.
Like, people are trying to say that, like, Lawrence is perfect and da-da-da. Like, do you think he's portraying this perfect dude? Like, he's a perfect boyfriend? Or...
I don't think anybody is perfect, but I think for him, he's finally happy now. You know what I mean?
And that's the key, I find.
Yeah.
With both of them.
Yeah. They're even though Issa is like in a weird space where she doesn't know what's next for her life.
Because she's doing something she's passionate about.
Yeah. That's why I rate her. That's why when Molly like talks down on her like she's a bum or something, like I don't like that, because it's like she's figuring out her life. I don't care how old you are. You could be 40 something, and as long as you're trying to find your happiness, I think that's the goal. So for Lawrence, I just think now, like, I'm not saying he's a perfect boyfriend or anything, but I guess just now he's finally comfortable with him, you know? Like,
yeah, because he says, like, before I thought I had to be the boss and the owner,
yeah,
but
and not
now
only
I'm
that,
cool.
He said, like, just being with Issa and seeing her grind and hustle made him, like, it didn't motivate him, you know what I mean? So it's like, for instance, like, there's some people out there where you could go to them and be like, oh, you suck and you're this and you're that, and it's gonna put a fire under their bum to, like,
prove you wrong.
And prove you wrong. I ain't like that. Well, don't come
Neither here.
No.
I'll be like, okay, that's what you think.
That's what you think, then I guess that's what you gonna see.
Booby's here. Hi, Booby. Yeah, so you see, like I think like the night could have ended without her and Lawrence sealing the deal had Condola not been a nuisance. I think if he wasn't messaging Condola, I think it would have just been like a goodbye kiss or a goodbye hug or awkward like, okay, I had fun, bye. Because she would be thinking like Condola's not in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But him messaging Condola and Condola calling is like, oh, Condola's in the picture.
But she likes Condola, so do you really think it was that aspect, like, oh, let me hurry up and shoot my shot before my shot's taken?
Yeah, absolutely, because she likes Condola, but at that moment, they were broken up. And even he's saying like, oh, we're just gonna talk. Like, he wasn't like, oh, we got back together. He's just like, oh, she wants to talk. So I really do feel like that pushed Issa to be so bold.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I gotta shoot my shot. Which I'm saying is like, Nathan didn't have that, because there's nothing, it's not like Lawrence was at the block party and Nathan could see how Issa's looking at, you know? So he doesn't know nothing about Lawrence except for what Issa has told him, you know? So obviously he was shocked. So it's just like, why would you get back with him? Like, the way he dogged you, like, that was kind of Nathan's reaction. So I think that was way out of left field, which is why we see in the next episode that he's confessing himself to Issa. But had he known, like, from the jump that, like, oh, she's talking to Lawrence, like, you know, Lawrence is coming around, he's being nicer, oh, he broke up with Condola, I think Nathan would have
been like, that's my girl.
Yeah, I think we would have told her how he felt sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But now, who do you think he's gonna choose?
I don't know. I really hope that it's Team Lawrence for me. I'm Team Lawrence, but at the end of the day, if she ends up with Nathan, I'd be happy too. Whatever.
Do you know what? At first, I was like, she needs Nathan because Nathan is really what got her out of her shell.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan encouraged her to do what she loves. Mm-hmm. That's what I love about Nathan. But now, when she's talking to Lawrence, Lawrence is motivating. He's like, you got that.
Just seeing them sitting up working together on their computer.
That was nice. That was very nice.
I'm just saying, like, I think they really needed time apart to be able to come back together. So,
which is what Lawrence said. But the way Lawrence is looking at her, like, even the morning after when he's laying on the bed just smiling at her, and then when, like, you know, she's trying to go off and get dressed and he pulls her back, you could see, like, oh, he is really happy. He's really liking her.
And he said it too. He likes this new person that she's becoming, you know?
A boss beat.
That's beautiful, like, because at the end of the day in a relationship you both have to grow individually to be able to grow together. So it's good to see that they've grown individually, so now they could come back together and just
And Molly, you're a whole mess. Get your life, boo. And Rhonda, come on. Stop enabling her, because I think
Rhonda,
her therapist.
oh,
I think that's her name, Dr. Rhonda. Because, like, I don't like the way how she sets Molly's questioning up, because like at the end of that scene when Molly's just like, I don't know, maybe we just grew apart. And of course people grow apart, but I think she was just repeating what the therapist said. Like, I don't think she fully understood what the therapist was trying to convey to her. And like, she's just being so fake. Like, she gives me that I think like she has two older brothers, or a younger older brother, whatever. But I think she was the only girl. She was spoiled all her life. Daddy's little girl. She probably got whatever she wanted. And you know, when you're the only girl, it's like if you cry or you make a face, everybody wants to make you happy. Not that I actually know that life because I'm not the only girl, but she just gives me that spoiled brat thing. Like, she was probably encouraged her whole life. Like, you're great, be great. Like, you know, that whole thing. So now it's like she doesn't know how to be vulnerable. She doesn't know how to be humble.
Yeah.
And that's really screwing with her.
So how do you feel, let's move forward, how do you feel about Issa and Nate going over to Asian Bae's house and then like trying to play the drinking game, and then Molly texting Issa the message?
I would have did something like that and I would have got caught.
But do you think that's like, I thought it was genuine until
what do you think was genuine?
Like Issa really trying to like have a good night with them, you know?
I think it was genuine on Issa's part.
Yeah.
But for Molly, because I don't think Issa was in the wrong. I think Molly was in the wrong. So I feel like Issa, I'm annoyed that Issa reached out first. I think she should have held her ground, but that's not Issa. Issa is being true Issa, and she's like, you know what? I'm happy now. Like, I don't have, you know, when you finish holding that anger inside, it's hard to be angry at the world. So I think that was Issa's thing. She's like, I'm so happy. Like, I don't care if you're upset, Molly. I want to see you. I'm happy. Like, you know? So, but whereas Molly is still completely miserable.
Yeah.
And miserable people don't like happy people. They want miserable people. Or they want to make people around them miserable. So you can see she's making Andrew miserable.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I think like Andrew is such a chill guy that he can't be with somebody as opinionated as
Molly.
Yeah.
Even her not wanting to be around his brother and stuff, I think that's so petty.
Like, I wouldn't want to be around the brother either, but I would be around the brother for Andrew.
For your man, yeah.
I would hope, which is not fair. She wants Andrew to break his back and go backwards, but she's not willing to do the same. And he's being so like, Issa. He's like, he is team Issa. Like, he wants Molly booty, but he's team Issa.
Yeah, guys, so that is our season.
Wait, how did you feel about that whole pool water incident?
Yeah, so for me, I didn't really notice if the white people before them showed the key card or not. And for me, I don't think she had, like, I'm not saying she's wrong for being like, oh, like pulling the race card, like, oh, that's racist. But I do think she was wrong for like trying to make a thing with the brother, you know? Like, I thought that was uncalled for.
Okay. The lady at the desk was racist. She was being racist, and that's just how people are. They're racist.
I agree.
She wasn't just... I think maybe her job is to ask for a key card if you suspect the person in front of you is not a guest. Because I don't think her job is to ask everybody for a key card. Because they're at the pool.
Yeah. Right?
And if her job is to ask everybody for a key card, I think that she only remembers to do her job properly when she thinks the person is not really a guest. You know what I mean? So either way you want to look at it, I find it was like racist, low-key racist, not a racist that I really care for. You know what I mean? Like, not gonna make laws against it, but she was definitely being low-key biased.
Yeah.
I think we covered all the major points this season.
Yes. We're going to upload this video today, and then we'll do the season finale review for tomorrow. We'll watch it tonight and then post it tomorrow. But if you made it this far in the video, that means
You like us, you like us, you really, really like us.
So make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that you click that bell so you
Ding,
get
ding.
notified whenever we drop a video. Make sure that you share this with your mama, your daddy, your brunkles, and all that.
Yeah, all your brunkles. Don't forget your branties too. That's like Bouch. Too. She's been watching too much Insecure, obviously.
So as you guys could see, Tish is low-key obsessed. This was meant to be a 20-minute video and it's probably going to be an hour.
But people who love Insecure will watch that whole hour. If you love Insecure, give us a blue heart for Nipsey, okay? Heart, 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 blue, blue, blue. All right? So if you made it this far in the video, that's how we'll know. So give us some blue hearts down there. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you liked all of our perspectives. Comment down below if you don't. Comment down below if you do. Give us a thumbs up and see you in the next one.